Hi and welcome to the Tuesday Tonic at 11 o'clock. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ceri and I'll be running this from the Yoga Light Centre in Ripon every Tuesday as long as we're in isolation. So welcome. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and what's brought me to be here right now. So I discovered in the early 90s yoga, and I discovered it through a man called Richard Hittleman, who apparently was on the television then, but I learned about him through books. And it was very simple work, very simple, accessible work, and a lot of my work involved travel. So I created a program based on his work and just developed my own yoga program over the next few years and went to classes whenever I could. About 7 years later, decided I wanted to teach, so that was in the year 2000. Then, of course, I got into the more extreme advanced practice, which was all great fun, but as life rolls on and challenges came and suffering appeared in life, it was always the most simple work in yoga that I really found most benefit from. Times in crisis, I remember my friends would remind me to meditate. They'd say, just meditate. And it was those times that brought me back. And a lovely yoga friend of mine, Ceri Lee, hello if you're watching this at all, she'd written an email last night and she said the very words, yoga is like an anchor in times of crisis. And it's absolutely right. In my life, over the last 20 years, yoga has been like an anchor during times of crisis. And so I've wanted to be able to offer something to people within my capability to help people during this very, very strange and challenging time. It's quite a transformative time as well as incredibly painful and difficult in many ways. We've lost life as we've known it. I think even if we press the normal button again, I don't think we could ever go back to normal. So these practices that I'm inviting you to explore with me today is an opportunity for you to really tap into yourself, get in touch with the deeper side of you, the true side of you, letting go of the masks that we've presented ourselves to the world with over the past few years. To just have this quiet time to get back in touch to you and then explore your body at the capacity that you can. And that's why I've introduced it as a chair yoga session, because most people are able to sit on a chair and do some basic stretching work that can still be very, very powerful, but it's very simple. What I'd like to invite you to do, if possible now, is to get yourself a chair that's hard-backed. I have one here, which is a basic kitchen chair, and that will enable you to be able to relax, but also from that come and do some postural work where you can sit upright. Whereas with an armchair, if you're slouched, it can be very difficult to support your back and your body when we come to do the postural work. So if that's something you'd like to get now, and then I will move back and come and sit on the chair and we'll begin, okay? By the way, I've never done anything like this before, live streaming, so this is all new to me, as yoga might be for you. So it's all good. It's all a new start for all of us. So, as you can see, I have got a block on my feet. Let me just show you. If you find that when you're sitting on your chair, the feet don't comfortably reach the ground, then a block or a thick book can serve the purpose. If you place that down and then place your feet on it. I'm going to keep my cardigan on for a while because it's pretty cold down here and I haven't got the heating on. Okay, so just to start with, once you've found your chair and you're sitting in it, you can just sit back and relax. And as you relax, feel the connection of the feet with the ground or the block or the book that's supporting you. And if you can place your hands on your legs and just explore which feels more comfortable for you, with the palms face down or the palms face up. And then hands to rest as they feel comfortable. And then to take your attention up to the shoulders, perhaps have a little roll around, a little bit of a neck roll. We hold ever so much tension in the shoulders. And then find a place that's comfortable. And you may want to close your eyes and just allow yourself to surrender to this position. The word surrender is a word you'll hear me use a lot. It's actually very difficult to surrender. We're programmed to survive, not surrender. So to surrender is quite a challenge for people. Just see if you can allow the body to soften in the chair. Feel that connection to the ground through the feet. And think about the calf muscles, let them relax. Let the knees soften, the thighs soften, the hips soften. Lower back, middle back and upper back is relaxing. You're supported in the chair. You can relax. The shoulders and the back of the neck, shoulders dropping down perhaps. Arms are soft. Fingers, thumbs and palms all softening. And then your face, all the muscles in the forehead, muscles around the eyes and the jaw, softening, beginning to let go of tension. And as you relax now, you may hear the odd sound in this studio. It's not in my studio, it's outside the space. It's the occasional car moving up and down. There is still activity in rhythm to some degree. And as you consider that, there is sound and life outside of the space. If you just take your own attention to the space outside your room and what you can hear. Consider that. Maybe you can hear the birds or the wind blowing into the leaves. Maybe you can hear traffic. Identify all the things you can hear outside of your room. And then start to bring your attention, like changing the aperture on a camera, and bringing the focus into what's inside your room. What can you hear? Perhaps you have pets or there's children in the room with you, or your partner. Perhaps you can hear a clock ticking. Become aware of what you can hear in your room right now. And then once you've identified that, bring your attention into your own body. What can you hear inside your own body? Can you hear your heart beating? Excuse me. Perhaps you can hear yourself breathing. Listen. Okay, and then gradually bringing your attention back into the room. When you're ready to, can you open your eyes? Take a look around. What can you see? What do you notice? And then gently begin to lift yourself out of your relaxed position of leaning back into your chair. Can you gently draw the back upright? And as you do, can you turn the hands, if they're not already, and place them upwards? And then think again about your feet. Are you holding tension in them, or do they feel relaxed? Are you connecting all of the feet to the ground beneath you? Think about the hands. Do they feel soft? Think about the neck, another area where we hold so much tension. Just see if that's as soft as it can be, and perhaps turn the head from side to side. And now can you place your hands on your floating ribs at the bottom of the rib cage? So you'll know where you've got to them, because if you keep prodding, you'll get to a point where there's no more ribs. Okay, and then you're going to place your palms on those ribs. And can you breathe? And as you breathe, you'll feel that the diaphragm, which is positioned in this part of the body, is starting to expand out as you breathe in. And as it expands out, it causes the body, the floating ribs, to stretch outwards. That's why they're floating ribs, so that they can accommodate this movement. If I take my layers off now, and perhaps you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is where the floating ribs are, here, and then within there is the diaphragm, which is like a sheet of muscle, and when you breathe in, it flattens out, and in the flattening out, it has to stretch these ribs to accommodate it. And then when you exhale, it contracts back into this shape, back into the rib cage. So you inhale, it expands out, and you exhale, and it contracts back. So if you place your hands, when you exhale, you can help yourself. You can actually push them in. And that will encourage the breath out to go out to the side. And breathe in. And breathe out. Great. Okay, so from here, just loosen up again. Dropping the hands, roll the shoulders. And you're now going to place I'm going to do the opposite to you. So your left hand, if you can place that on the seat of the chair, perhaps towards the front leg. And you're going to inhale your right arm up. Now take your attention to the middle finger of that hand, and you're directing it upwards. And as you direct that left finger upwards, you're rooting down in your it's your right finger and your right seat, your right buttock. So you root down in your right buttock as you reach up in your right finger. So you can feel this elongation happening in the body. And on an exhalation, you're going to exhale over to your left. And as you do, you may find this hand can just slide down the leg of the chair to keep you supported, so you're not going to topple. You can even hold on to that side if you want to. And as you breathe, keep rooting down on this buttock. Keep rooting down as you extend over. And breathe deeply into the rib cage here. And if you feel comfortable, you can tuck the chin in and look up behind the arm. One more breath, inhale. And then inhale the arm over to the side and down. Placing this hand towards the front of the chair so you can catch hold of the leg, and then you're inhaling your left arm up. Reach up through the middle finger, root down through the buttock, opening up the entire left side of your body. And then exhaling over to the side. Again, you've got this hand to support, sliding down the chair. Keep rooting down through this buttock and opening up this side of the body, particularly in that rib cage. And if you feel comfortable, you can tuck the chin in and look up behind you, behind the arm. One more breath. And inhale. Exhale the arm down. Great. Rolling the shoulders one way and then the other. Okay. So now you're going to frame your face through your arms. And if you can, You can interlock the fingers. I've got the palms face down at this moment, but if you're able to, see if you can turn the palms face up. And you want these hands to be as directly above the head as possible. So you can just take a look up to see whether they are above. If it's not reaching there, that's absolutely fine. So long as you are feeling that your body's working, you're working, and that's great, okay? So to start with, can you shrug the shoulders up towards the ears? And in doing that, feel how that opens up the torso, and it's creating space in the torso and in the spine. And then start to exhale the shoulders down again. Imagine your face as a portrait and your arms, the shoulders and the hands are the frame of the portrait. But you want the portrait to be as close to the middle of the framed picture as possible. So you're dropping those shoulders down, but to see if you can keep that space in the back. And breathe into those floating ribs again. Deep breaths. See if you can do 2 more. And again. And on your next out breath, you're going to release the fingers and exhale those arms down. And circle those shoulders one way and then the other. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to work specifically on the spine for a little bit. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to turn myself to the side just so that you can see the position and shape of how the back is rolling. You can stay exactly where you are, but I just want to move to the side so you can see what's happening. Okay, so from where you're sitting, check the feet again. Check that you're sitting in a lovely upright position, and you have this tailbone which tends to stick out a little bit. Just see if you can drop it down a little bit. If you imagine a dog that tucks its tail in, just see if you can just drop it down. And as you do that, you find that something happens to the abdomen. And if you think about zipping up your abdomen, that can just help you get in touch with the abs to support this back, which is what you want to be doing. We'll look a lot more into detail about this in the future, should you wish to see this again, Tuesday Tonic. But for now, let's just work on what's called riding the wave. Now, all of this movement is chest-led. So if you imagine a wave crashing onto the beach, I'll do it with my hands to show you, and you the wave exhales forward. It moves forward, or you're exhaling forward, like the shape of the wave. So it moves forward, and then the wave crashes onto the shore. That's going to be like your head. So it's going to topple over at the end. And then a wave draws back towards the ocean, and it draws back, and you're going to reflect that through your body from the lower spine, and it's going to roll up, at which point the next wave is ready to move forward. Chest-led, eventually the wave crashes onto the shore, and then you inhale, roll back from the base of the spine, lifting up. Head is the last thing to come up. The wave is ready to roll forward again. Exhale and forward with the head. Inhale, roll up the spine, and joining in when you feel comfortable to do so. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, rolling up the spine. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale, rolling back up the spine. Relax the shoulders down. Great. Okay. So now we're going to isolate a part of the spine just a little bit by we're just focusing entirely on the chest area. So you're literally just going to thrust it forward and then take it back. And I want you to bring in your breath to this. I'm not going to dictate to you whether you exhale forward or inhale forward, but I want you to explore what works best for you and see if you can bring in a breath with each movement, whether it's an out breath forward or an inhale forward. Out breath back, inhale back, whatever works for you. You're just thrusting forwards and backwards with the chest. And perhaps you're noticing how the back is starting to feel quite warm now. Okay, and then eventually coming to a place of stillness. Think about lifting up from the base of the spine. And I'm going to bring my block forward again. We're going to move into some leg work. Okay, so we're going to look at what's called alternate leg raises. So you might want to hold onto the side of your chair now. And again, I am going to try and reflect you, but as I'm getting older, I'm finding it hard to get my legs to right, so I'm having to do the opposite to you, so forgive me if I get it wrong. We're going to start on this leg, which I believe is your right leg. Yeah? Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to inhale and lift it up, and then exhale it down. And then you're going to move on to your left leg. Inhale, lift up, straighten it. Exhale down. Keep strong in your tummy. Support your back. Inhale, right leg. Exhale it down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale it down. And this time you're going to inhale the right leg up and hold it there if you can. And if you want to add to that, can you circle the foot one way? Keep zipping up this tummy. You're going to need that to support you now, your core. That's working with your core, and circle the other way. And then exhale that down, foot back to the ground. Lift up from the base of the spine to check that there's no slumping happening. And then inhale, lift your other leg and circle one way. Keep that tummy zipped up. And the other. And then exhale that down. Great, okay. Can you do both legs at the same time? Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. And again, inhale up. Exhale down. This time, can you hold it? Inhale up. Perhaps circle both those feet. And the other way. Keep zipping up that tummy. And exhale down. Great. Okay, so from here, we're going to move into a spinal twist. So you are going to take your right hand and place it on your left knee. And you're going to take this left arm and you're either going to wrap it behind the back, or if you can, wrap it behind the chair. So you're catching behind the chair. And before you go anywhere, you keep facing forward. You lift up from the base of the spine. And then you're going to exhale to your left. And as you exhale to your left, you're going to turn the head as well. But try not to let the head tilt up or down. Try to keep the head on its axis. And breathe. And see if you can find something to spot where your eyes take you, as far out as you can. Deep breaths. And then inhale forward. And then the same on the other side. So left hand on right knee. Right arm behind your back or behind the chair. Inhale, lift up from the base of the spine. Keep the head on its axis. And exhale, turn to your right. And breathe. And inhale forward. We're going to do that again. And you might find that when you turn around this time, you might be able to spot a little bit further around than you did before. So the right hand on the left knee, the left arm behind, lift up, face the spine, exhale and turn. Breathe deeply. Inhale forward. Could you spot a little bit further? And the same on the other side. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, turn. Keep the head on its axis, deep breathe. And then inhale forward. Wonderful. Alright, so rolling the shoulders one way and then the other. And we're going to work on breathing in the life force. I'm going to start it from sitting and then moving up to standing. So perhaps come slightly forward on your chair now. And those of you that are not able to stand easily, keep sitting down to do this, so that when I offer the opportunity to come to stand, don't try to do it if you know that you're wobbling on your feet, okay? But you can keep working from sitting. This is how it works from sitting. Lifting up from the base of the spine, you're going to inhale the arms up. If you can bring your hands to prayer position, do. And then you're going to exhale the arms down. And again, inhale. And exhale. And then if you want to try standing, you can stand. Feet connected to the ground. This is Tadasana, the mountain pose. So perhaps just distribute the feet between the balls of the feet and the heels until you find you're in the middle ground. Zip up the tummy, drop that tailbone, relax the shoulders. And you're going to inhale up and exhale down. And if you want to take that even further, you come onto tiptoes when you inhale up. Exhale down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Okay. I can't believe it's nearly time to finish, so we're going to finish with just a little bit of relaxation. It's important that you're warm, especially in relaxation, because that's the time the mind can be free, and if you're worried about being cold, you're not going to let the mind to be able to become free. So if you want to grab something to just cover yourself with, if you have a blanket to hand maybe, and we'll just take a moment to ground ourselves before we move on with our day. So coming back to this position where you can now lean back into the chair, closing the eyes, feeling the feet securely connected to the ground. Hands either palms face up or palms face down on your legs, whichever feels more comfortable. Close your eyes and just allow the feet to soften and relax. Knees soften, hips soften, chest soften and the shoulders soften. Back of the neck is soft, arms soft. Face is soft and relaxed, and just focus on your breathing. As you breathe in, mentally repeat, I know that I'm breathing in. When you breathe out, I know that I'm breathing out. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath. come to open your eyes and just take a look around. You might have been aware of the bin men that literally just went past in your relaxation. I'm ever so sorry about that. That's something I obviously have no control of. But if there's one thing you may have learned today, in our out of control life that we're in now, one thing that we do have control of is ourself. And when we practice, we're really getting a hold of ourselves again and anchoring ourselves at a very strange and disturbing time. I can still hear the bin men outside. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I hope you found some benefit today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's given you a lift. And I'd really appreciate feedback. So please let me know how you found it, what you enjoyed, what you found worked for you. And if you enjoyed it, then we can do this. We can do this every Tuesday at 11. I've got it in my diary, so if you like that, then I'll see you again next Tuesday. Lots of love. Hugs, take care, stay strong, and keep breathing. Bye.